What's going on, guys? It's Russell again. The question for today is, what does Martha Stewart have in common with the Oxford Club? And that's insider trading. However, Martha Stewart went to jail for insider trading, while the Oxford Club actually has an amazing service where they teach how to spot insider trading but in a legal fashion. So they're not doing anything wrong. So I wrote a review on these guys, looks like last year, almost a year ago. The Oxford Club Insider Alerts review. I joined the service and took some of their trades, and I'll show you kind of what happened and basically the different elements to this service. So let's dive in. So blah blah blah, I just write a load of nonsense at the start of these reviews usually. I'll put this link to the review in the description below so you can go and check it out in your own time. So it's a premium newsletter, this Oxford Club Insider Alerts. It's currently retailing for about $2,000 a year. So not extortionate, but not exactly easy to part with, right? $2,000, there's no free trial, and you have to just kind of assume that the service is going to deliver. But does it? That is the question. So here is their philosophy, and this is where the insider trading kind of comes in. So they want to bet on corporate insiders knowing more about their companies than you or I do. It makes total sense, right? And this is something that's done throughout the trading and investing world. If you can find and identify and basically interpret what insiders that are in their companies are doing, then you can usually sort of determine whether it's a good buy or a good sell. It very much influences the price of a stock, at least in the short term. For example, if a company buys $10 million worth of stock right before an earnings report is due out, could well be a sign that something interesting is going to go on, and the price could actually be unexpectedly inflated. So the cool thing is, you don't need to be like the coffee boy in the company to, overhear the boss saying that they're going to announce a new product and they're going to load up on their own stock. It's the law. They have to these companies have to file a Form 4 with the SEC. And that says how many shares they've bought and how many, what price it is. And basically it gives us quite a decent insight into what's going on in the company. But it does take a bit of skill. And sometimes these things can be misleading. For example, a company may sell a whole bunch of shares, but it's really just because the CFO or somebody wants to buy a yacht or go on some vacation or just liquidate some of their stuff. But a lot of times people, uninformed people will take that as a really bearish sign, when in reality it's not. So there's a whole art to this. It's not as simple as it sounds. But that's where some of these Oxford Club guys who have had years and years of experience can kind of decipher it for us. So, here are the 4 criteria that the Oxford Club looks for when they're screening stocks. They have the right type of inside buying, not just random, insignificant inside buying. So, first of all, they look for big buys of $1 million minimum. This isn't really a whole lot of money for insiders. These companies can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So these guys buying $1 million minimum is not really that significant. But it's significant enough to warrant further analysis, right? What's more bullish though is if you get a whole bunch of multiple insiders all buying large amounts at the same time. And of course the opposite of that is if a whole bunch of them are selling large amounts of shares at the same time. But it really matters also who is doing the buying. So certain insiders have extremely strong track records when trading their company shares. So it makes much more sense to put more weight into them and what they're doing than some of the new people that maybe don't really matter as much. So this is what the Oxford Club Insider Alerts focuses on, these 4 criteria. And this leads to a very high probability strategy, and the results reflect that, and I'll show you those in a minute. So it's worth pointing out that some of the top people, Peter Lynch, George Soros, both use this strategy of insider buying as a way to make massive returns. So the main guy behind the Oxford Club Insider Alerts is this guy Alexander Green. This is him down here. He's had like 20 plus years experience in managing some huge portfolios and investing and researching all these stocks. And he's been responsible for managing tens of millions of dollars over the years. He's pretty well respected in his field. So I joined this program and I decided to start buying some of these stocks that were being alerted. And I'll show you what comes out and how it's presented to us as subscribers. So I bought 3 stocks and I'm up about 10% as of writing this. And I think I closed out at 20% for these guys. But I'm revisiting the insider alerts now. So I'll go into what their current portfolio is in a minute. So before I get into some of the trade examples, I wanted to show you an email. So you get alerted via email and SMS. So here's an email from my account. This is one that was done a few days ago. And you can see roughly what is included. I'll try and zoom in so you can get a better view. So you'll get these emails. There'll be a lot of information in them. And you kind of take your time reading through them. I'm going to work my email here. So click on here. Okay. So the current portfolio is really green, which I'll show you in a second. So he just starts off by talking about that and what you might want to do with some of your positions. Then he goes into this stuff about the latest picks. So going into this drug stuff, blah blah blah. So you get a lot of like information and thoughts, not just a buy sell alert, which I really like. So then he talks about this new company. So the company is down here. It's called Morphic Holding, MORF. And he talks about the insider stuff, but Dr. Springer is the founder. Massive insider purchase like this reveals confidence in his firm. Looks like he just bought $16.5 million worth of his own company, purchased these shares, which is really awesome. That combined with his strong scientific background reveals very strong confidence in the firm. Given the industry, given the partnerships, the whole picture basically, it makes, Morph seem like it's going to be a really good buy. So this video is done on the 5th of June. So if you want to follow this, if you're watching this at a later date, you could probably backtest it, see if it works out. I think this is his recent. I'll show you a better picture of that. Anyway, that's what you get in the emails, which are pretty informative. I really like them. This is what you get in the dashboard. So this stuff's kind of boring. Don't really same for all these Oxford Club stuff. Here's the alerts that come up on the dashboard itself, and that's the one we just looked at, Cutting Edge Biotech. And you can see they come out every, maybe once or twice a month if you're lucky. This is a swing trading service. It's not something that you'll be able to day trade or scalp or anything. We can have a look at some more here so you can get a feel for how often these alerts are issued. Again, my main complaint with the Oxford Club is how long their website takes to load. So we'll just sit here and wait while this thing pops up. There we go. So here are the dates for all the recent alerts on the right here. So June, May. So it was like 4 in May. It was like 4 in April. Let's have a look. Wow, quite a lot in March. So you're getting one every 3 or 4 days by the looks of it. It's quite frequent, yeah. So there's plenty of alerts, but they're all swing trades. If we jump over to their current portfolio, which is here, I'll zoom in. This is their current holdings. There's no way to see their whole, previous 5 years, of holdings. This is just what they're holding at the moment. AG, NSNC, BG, all these different ones. There's Morph, bought in the second. They're already up 3% on it, so that's pretty cool. But look at their percentage wins down this column here. It's all green. And quite green by the looks of it. Look at these, 50, 122, 69%, 175%. This one was bought last August. This one was bought this year, just like a month or 2 ago. So you can see how awesome this portfolio actually is. So it's pretty exciting. And I think I'm going to jump back into some of these trades over the next few months because this has been a horrible market and these guys are still killing it. So I think it's definitely worth checking this out if you are interested in this type of trading. I think that's all I've got to say about it. It's Martha Stewart again. Let's get rid of her. Get rid of this insider alert stuff. Just like check what else you get here. I think you get a little bit of education stuff. Here we go again with the insider alert loading. They aren't big on education, the Oxford Club in general. I think they love to send out due diligence emails, which is something that if you really like, it's pretty helpful. I like seeing all the emails coming in every day from the different services. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so they have some video series, but honestly none of these are particularly appealing to me. So if you want to do this, I would do it for the alerts because they are pretty solid. Alright, so if you're not a member, here's one just came in, Oxford Insight. If you are not a member, you might want to check it out. I'll leave a link to this article below so you can go and check them out. And make sure you subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, because I publish an article usually every day, well, a YouTube video all about these different articles that I test these services and write about. So hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers.